Hello Flosstube, it's Amy Clarissa of Allegro Stitches. It is April 25th, I think exactly 1 year ago today. I decided on my mania plans, and so I turned on the camera and made my first Flosstube. Which should have just been mania plans, a Flosstube extra, probably. I didn't introduce myself, I don't think. Eventually it came out that I live in North Pole, Alaska, and maybe that I'm married and I have one child, a little boy named Daniel. He is 6, he'll be 7 this year. Let's see, I don't really have a favorite TV show or movie or book. See it once and continue on. I do have some that I play over and over when I'm working just because I've seen it before. If I enjoy the music, that's a big plus. Makes it to the top and I'll probably play it again. But I skipped out on all those things and just pressed record, and so here we go. After a year, I think we're getting close to video 20. I'm not really sure. I did really good in the beginning, and I had this purple notebook where I would like write down what I finished and what I wanted to talk about and all the things, and everything went in order and got piled up so that it was ready. And I think I even recorded weekly for a while. Now I'm doing good to record monthly. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 months since I last recorded. A lot has happened. I was going to record at the end of March. Not quite the end, but like towards the end, before we went on our trip the 1st of April, 2nd of April, whatever. And then my boy got really sick, and we spent like 3 days being sick, and then 3 days recovering, and then left, came back, hit the ground running. I played for a concert, of course had lessons. I teach private music, harp and piano. I don't know if I've ever told you that. And it was just busy. So I was working on ABC bags a few minutes ago and realized today's the 25th of April, the perfect day. And I think that's exactly what I thought 1 year ago. It's the perfect day. I don't remember what movie that's from, but not too hot, not too cold. All you need is a light jacket. If you know, you can leave it in the comments. Or I could just ask Sarah. Sarah probably knows. My Stitchy friend in Washington. Anyway, here we are. It's April 25th, the perfect day again. I might reference this. Black Needle Society's planner journal. Let's see. Here's March. I love the date cover stickers. They are from Midnight Stack Planner. And here's what we have so far for April. Yeah. It's been busy. So let's see if I can keep track of where I was and what all I've stitched on. Look how many things I stitch in a month. Isn't that ridiculous? If you would have asked me how many projects I stitch in a month before I actually started using this, I'd say, oh, you know, like 5, 6, 8 tops probably, because there's 8 spaces in here, so I would think I would never need more than that. Yeah, I need like 15 a month. Who knew? Who knew? So it says I worked on the Floral Fairy. When did I make my last video? It seems like I showed you the Floral Fairy, so we're going to skip over her because I don't think she's in this pile. What is in this pile? Well, I've got all 3 of the well-rounded perennial pinwheels by Hands On Design, so that probably means I need to show these 2. The couch was full, so it was the perfect day to clear off the couch too. Yeah, that's right. I don't know which one this is. These are the spring versions. We are in spring now. We get a lot of sun, or increased sunlight hours at least. I think we're up to 15. And the snow is melting. So there's lots of brown, there's lots of white, and increased yellow. But I think I saved the yellow for summer. And I believe I stitched those last year. So this set of 3 is the spring series. They're finished as rounds. In my mind, they're in a hoop. I don't know if that's true. And the pattern's somewhere. I'm actually in the process of reorganizing my charts, I guess you would say. I got a new phone in November, right around Thanksgiving. So all of my stuff from the old phone has to be transferred. Kind of. I don't know. The Xstitch app is the only paid app that I had, and it didn't transfer. Well, none of my apps did, but since everything else was free, it was really no big deal to go back and be like, oh, I used the Joann's app, I used the Michael's app, I used the Safeway app, and the Fred Meyer app, and now you know what stores we have around here. They were free. It was no big deal. But the Xstitch app. I love the shopping list feature. And then I had, in the fabric section, which I like to buy grab bags. I haven't saved all my haul out. I'm sorry. I cannot save all the haul and show it to you. That's just stress that I cannot deal with. I tried it for a little while, and I think when I was recording weekly, it was okay, but after that, it just, no one can deal with that amount of stress. I just couldn't handle it. So I can't save the stuff out when it comes. When it comes, it gets cataloged as necessary and put away. But how did I get on that? I'm gonna have to come back to that. That's terrible. I do this to Sarah all the time too. But I think I come by honestly because my mom does it. She doesn't always circle around, but she's better than she used to be. Oh, the X-Stitch app. I was talking about the X-Stitch app. Oh, in the fabric section, which I have gotten grab bags from 1884 Stitchery. I've gotten them from Stony Creek in the past. I've gotten them from Jen Stitch and Knitch in the past. The most recent ones are from 1884 Stitchery, but I've gotten a lot of stuff from her recently. She is my new favorite shop. And I don't keep track of all of those in the app because I have like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and I don't know what it is. I can measure it. I can write a basic color. This is light blue. This is like cream. This is a white. This is an off-white. That type of thing. But I don't really know anyway, so I just keep them sorted by size and by count. And so in the X-Stitch app, I actually use that category for keeping track of my Ada, which is my collection of Rit dies, and my, what was the other one? I don't remember what I called it, but it's another collection. Because the X-Stitch app doesn't have a place for collections. You can't store Needle Minder collection or Rit die collection or, you know, Flosstube collection or anything like that. You have to put it into your journal, so like projects that you're working on, charts, floss, or I think they call it threads, and linens, or fabric. I don't remember what they title it, but those are like your categories, and then there's a shopping list. I love the shopping list feature, and I really like having like my master DMC list. If something's running low, I'll just restock it. So I've just checked off the ones that I have, and that way if I go to add something new, it automatically shows me what I don't have. So if floss is on sale, I'm like, oh, well, let's pick up a couple colors while I'm here. What do I not have? It's really easy to check and see. And then, yes, I use the chart so I don't rebuy things that I already have, and I love to have it on my phone so I can look it up quickly by searching, or I can just click on the designer. So that's really, really nice, and I was missing it, so I paid the $2.99 to get it again. I downloaded it, I logged in, and everything was there from before. So why did I have to buy it again? I don't know, but it's worth it. I keep telling myself it's worth it, even though everything was there and you just needed to log in. Why you had to pay for it? It's okay. It's $2.99. It's gonna be okay. What else did I stitch? Oh, I didn't stitch all of this in the past 7 weeks or however long I've been gone, but I did finish it. This is from a Cross Stitch Crazy magazine. It's on the cover of the magazine. I got this chart from Bendy Stitchy when she was doing like torn out of magazine freebies or giveaways, and that was right after I started stitching, so it was back in 2019, and I just thought they were adorable. So I started them on this sparkly, it's an opalescent, I want to say it's 18 count opalescent white. Oh, they're so cute. I love how these guys turned out. So this is Stitch and Bobbin. I remember that's their names. I don't remember what the chart's called, but I know it's from Cross Stitch Crazy, and it is on the cover. If you need to know which one, I think I wrote it down. I want to say 2014, but I have no clue if that's correct. So just ask if you need to know, because I think I have it in notes somewhere. Oh yes, I started stitching this, Golden Lotus Biscornu, from Etsy, Sunshine X Stitch. Thank you, Self, for writing that. And then this one from Stitch Sprout. I was going to make these both Biscornus. I didn't realize that the Lotus one had a bunch of the back stitch like offset, so it wasn't very Ada suitable. And I started it on Ada, and I quickly abandoned it on Ada too. I wasn't feeling super well the day I started it, so I did the box. I was like, no, that's not right. Long story short, the box is still not square. It took an hour to do that first outline. The box is still not square. And it's not actual squares, it's all back stitch for two rows, because
what's
4 minus 5 minus 1. Here it is. Here's what I ended up with. I didn't end up doing the right color because I abandoned the one chart and went to the other one, and anyway, here's what we have. Here's what it ended up as. I used the white Aida and did the stitch sprout design. If you look very closely, the longer you look at it, probably the more mistakes you'll find.
Mommy,
but I used 11. I used sulkies on this.
That's a takeaway.
Oh, you can do it. 5. Yeah, see how much space is here? See how much space is not there? It's all wrong. It's gonna go together fine. I'm not sure how it got off or what happened. And then I just adjusted this basic outline to fit the back. It's gonna be fine. I have so many biscornies that need finished. Yeah, it's ridiculous. But I just color matched the blocks when it printed color to sulkies as closely as I could. I don't have all of them, but I think it looks really nice. See, the more you look at it, the more you can tell it's a little off. It does not match the point. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's still not right, but it's fine. It's still pretty. I really like the colors on it, and I still like how it turned out. It's gonna be fine. So then I went back to the Lotus design. Sticking with the same sulky colors, I picked this, what is this called? I know this. It's the one that's printed, Vintage Country Mocha, 36 count. I love sulky on 36 count or 18 count. So that's what they are. 18 count white and 36 Vintage Country Mocha. But when I went to do the little flowers around the edge, what did I do with that paper? Right here. These little backstitch flowers that are like in the half stitch. It looked fine in the blue. It looks awful in this yellow color. Oh, I forgot to do the back stitcher on that.
Mommy,
well, you know, when I go to finish it, I'll probably do back stitch. -2. So it looks okay in the blue, but then when I did it in the yellow, it looked awful. Awful, awful. You could not tell it was even supposed to be a flower. I love the light here. I look like stuff, guys. 13. He's into Baldi's Basics and Minecraft. More Baldi's Basics and more Minecraft and Minecraft Skyblock and more Minecraft and Mario and Lego. Anyway, so I took it out, decided to end it right there. I was getting kind of annoyed by now with all these biscorny troubles. Still love the sulky. Still love the counts I was using with the sulky. This is a, see, scrap. So I guess I could just hold it this way because you don't see it down in my lap. So it turns out fine. I do need to do some backstitch on this flower, but whatever. I don't even know if this is centered. I will find out when I put it together. And I left the middle space and the center of this flower open so that I could put more little beads. Aren't those cute? They're little petite beads. Same sulky colors. I think I mentioned that. Oh, disruptions. I'm wondering. Okay, I also worked on my sheep. I put some sheep in there. They will need some backstitch too because when I did the black sheep, you now cannot see his face. Same with the white sheep and the brown sheep. The only one you can see the face on is that one, obviously. So they are fluffy. Not the heads, but all the bodies are fluffy. That one you can see. I did just a light star in him, or snowflake, or whatever it's supposed to be. It looks like a star, but maybe it's supposed to be a snowflake. They will also need some sort of like backstitch lines, shadow, something, so that you can see where their head is and where their body begins. And I think that's all the sheep I got in. Oh, no, there's one on Courage. Did you see that one? Right there. There's one right there on Courage. So, it looks better and better. I just got really tired of stitching sheep and stitching with Whisper, and so all those threads are still out on the couch. I really need to finish that. I'm going to set this aside for Mania plans, because that also needs to be a part of this video. Not going to be quite as maniac as last year. But last year was fun, and I really learned a lot by doing that. So if you want to see what I did last year, it's on the channel, video 1 and 2, because the camera stopped halfway through, and it's done that since as well. I have to watch my time. Once it hits about 45 minutes, it's like, yeah, you've talked long enough. Okay, fine. All right. Finish as a drum. I've got notes on the back of this. Do not stitch the right and left sides of the border. Only stitch top and bottom border. Finish as a drum. So my future self would remember how I kit this. Not that it mattered how I kit it, but I thought it would make the cutest little drum. So I did just what I said to do. And it's going to match up just about like, oh come on, about like that. Continuing that lacy border without, I believe, without interruption, and be a cute little drum. I might have to stitch another little heart for the top, or group of 3 hearts maybe, since I'm in a family of 3, but yeah, it's super cute, so sweet. And I think I have some pins, not Jabco pins, but much more economical pins that just are plastic heart-headed. They're cute, they're like shiny, they work great. I don't know if I bought them or if Mom gave them to me. Not really sure, but that's what I'm picturing here because I think those will be super cute. So that is by Heart and Hand. Again, I have the colors written down somewhere. I did not use all of this stuff. For once, I actually used less colors than it said to use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 4. Why did I need... Yeah, I didn't even read that part. So I think I used 5. I used 3 pinks, a green, and a white. Oh, and the brown. 6. Go me. I stitched this on vacation. This is an 1884 Stitchery recent purchase. Oh, so is this. It is by Annie Bees. It is called Sunflower Field, or Sunflower Fields. Daniel turned it down. And I used a Bee Stitch Me silk for the yellow because I have very few yellows and very few greens and hardly any orange. Like maybe 2. And ever since I got into my new Floss Organizer, I guess that's what I'm going to call it. It's like a tower. It's a revolving shoe tree is what it is. And then I said turn it down. I bought those 3/4 inch rings that open, you know, the silver ones that you can clip your floss to. And I just bought them in a smaller size. 1 inch would have worked, but I think the 3/4 inch is a better fit. Do not touch the chair. And I've just clipped them all. If you want to see a picture, it's on my Instagram, amy_Allegro Stitches. Note to self, I haven't posted for like a month, so I need to do that. So ever since I got that set up, and it's like right there, and I can see all my beautiful floss, then I'm using them a lot more. So I used them in the last piece, and I used them in this. I did change the colors. Whoops, that's the back. There we go. I used them in this. I used them for this next one. I also stitched this while on vacation, sort of. I started this right before we came back, and then I had such a busy week, it took me an entire week to stitch on this. I was getting rather tired of it by the time I quit. Oops, sorry, it's shaking because he's trying to get off the couch without touching the chair, and it's just not working. So as I stitched, I went, oh, there's so much green in this, there's so much green in this, there's so much green. Green is not my favorite color. And I realized just in time that it's because there's no purple. I usually substitute on pieces like this some of the green with purple because I love purple so much more than green. Green is like way down here on my favorite colors, and purple's like way up here. So I did add some purple before it was too late because I was almost done at that point. If you look at the original chart, yes, I know I messed this bottom part up, but you probably didn't know that until I told you. So I made it work. It looks fine. I really think it's cute. I really need to get this framed because I know I don't have children, but my child is getting older and older, and we've called him our little teenager for a while now, and he's only 6, almost 7, so, you know.
Mom, how do we get
this
past?
is so relevant. Daniel, just calm down. I only have 3 projects left. Maybe only 2. 2, because this is an empty bag. Empty bag.
Can we just
that's my
all
whip.
read together?
Here's another one I got from 1884. I'm trying to stitch some of the things that come in, like right away, as well as go back and grab some of the older things and really mix it up, which is working great, as long as they're smaller projects. The bigger projects, I notice I'm kind of avoiding. If it takes more than a week to stitch it, it's taking too long. In fact, more of that when we get to mania plans. So I got this one. This was like $2. It came with the moss green wool, 4 yards of it, and the antique brass sun charm, which Spoiler, didn't use the charm. But here it is. Isn't it cute? It's so adorable. And that 4 yards of green, this is why I didn't use it. I've got plans. I know it's cut close. It's going to be fine. So I used the green. I did this all in hand like I do most of my stuff. And when I did the little stitchy line, which no, I know it's supposed to be this purple back stitched or running, whatever. It's like a continuous border around it. Well, I got back up to here after finishing these sleeves. Did my thing. Stitched a bee, because I wasn't out of floss yet. What am I going to do with like a random 2 feet of wool moss green? So, stitched the bee. I was like, okay, I've got this much left. Now what am I going to do? So I tied it into bow. I was like, that's cute. And sewed it down here. It's adorable. This is so cute. I love how this turned out. And I just did this on a Saturday afternoon. I will start sewing a lot more on Saturdays because I have no Zooms on Saturday now. It's very sad. I miss my Zoom people. But I still stitch sometimes. It's like honorary stitching. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But as I'm missing them, I just sit and stitch. Whatever, all by myself. Usually watching Flosstube. But anyway, that is Bluebird Song by Little Leaf Designs. I should pass this on. Let me put that in the stack because I already grabbed for something for today. What am I stitching on currently? Well, oh, you know what? I don't think I ever showed this to you. Oh, which reminds me, I finished some projects. I have some videos to tack on to the end of this, so let's keep this short and sweet. I finished a project, 2 projects. I did a card and I did a bag for Sarah G. She's the Sarah I'm currently swapping with. I have 3 Sarah pals. Washington, California, and Florida. So anyway, they're all named Sarah. They're all spelled the same way. So the letter at the end is my way of separating them from each other. So Sarah G is the one I'm currently swapping with. Sarah R is the one I talk to most frequently. And Sarah L, I just need to write her and say, how are you doing? Because I haven't heard from her for a little while now. So anyway, this is the bag when I was finishing Sarah G's bag for March that I made for myself. I won this in a giveaway from, well, they don't post that much. Is it Stitching with Friends? Flying Frog Stitchery is part of it. It's the group Athena used to be part of. And there were the 4 friends, and then Athena left and made her own channel, so there's the 3 girls left. Anyway, this is by Stitching with the Housewives. It's January. I don't think it's trucking along. It's the monthly trucks. They had like a little banner part with the month, and then the bottom part, Kimberly Jolly stitched them all as one piece. I don't remember what the series is called, but I got January and February from her. She was going to do the whole series, and then with all the white stitches, she was like, forget this. I am not doing it. So I got the 2 charts and this project. I also have a strip of fabric from the top and a strip from the bottom. I don't know what I'm going to do with those yet, but this was an 18 count, I'm guessing. Aida. I know it's an Aida. And so I quilted it, made a panel, put a little window at the top. I also quilted the back. I've got some project bags in the shop right now that are all fabric. Of course, they're quilted, and they're this style. I had not tried this window yet, so don't have a window, but this one does. So as I get it off, finish what I was telling you about Sarah G. So since we're still exchanging gifts, see, I told you that whole circle thing where you come back. I made her a dimensional gift for March. It was a bag. I just had this idea, and I was also doing a swap. Sandy Alba Stitcher, maybe that's the channel. It was like a last minute thing. I signed up for it. Didn't think I would get paired with anyone. Got paired with someone. Had to stitch finish mail the week before we left our trip, and so I got that done. And I should show you what she sent me. I'll get back to the other things. Hold on just a second. This is what I got from Jackie. It's in this cute little bucket tin. And I'm pretty sure this is a Lizzie Kate. I don't know what it says on the bottom. Like who it's by or where she got it or anything like that. But if I were to guess, I would say it's a Lizzie Kate. There, it sounds like, is some walnut shell. And I'm going to guess it's a blend with polyfill. They're little 3-dimensional eggs. The buttons. Look how cute and sweet that is. So I haven't used it. Needed to show it in the video, and since I remembered, Go me. Look what else I put together. Oh yeah, from my steampunk box from Black Needle Society. If you're going to use it for pens or for scissors or for whatever, it's got to be thin. Like the diameter. Because these openings are not that large. So scissors, I guess, would work. Let's see here. This is one of my larger pairs. Yeah, that works. They're going to run into each other majorly, but it would work. I like to keep a couple pens and pencils there because I'm always putting them somewhere or somebody's borrowing them from me. So I keep it there and it's handy. Okay, so back to Sarah G and her, I'm all over the place today, her gift. And then I also made a different one. It was a spring theme swap. So I did a Lizzie Kate this spring. There's like 4 of them, right? Because the 4 seasons. And there's a little house with a giant yard on each one. And I just zoomed in on the house basically and stitched on yellow because spring is when we get all our sunshine. And so I did the same finish on them in different colors, different patterns. But they're the same size. They're both quilted. They're really cute. And I made videos before I put them in the mail. So, note to self, need to put that at the end. What I have in my winter bag is not wintry at all. It is from, I wrote it down. Please say I wrote it down. A Cooler Designs studio book. It's called Nature's Gifts. If I'm writing notes to myself about what I did each day, it's called the Bee Sampler. But the book's called Nature Gifts. An American Sampler from Gifts of Love book. Cooler Design Studio. I didn't write the year. Late 80s? Early 90s? What year was it, Mom? I forget. But there it is. I don't have a cover photo because I'm not doing that much editing. So I'm going to have to make dinner after this. But it's got beautiful flowers. You can see where there's going to be the pink ones. Well, it looks kind of red, but these are going to be pink flowers, blue flowers, purple flowers, and then there's going to be yellow flowers here, but the colors are kind of weird in some of these places. I think maybe it was stitched in Anchor, not sure. We pulled the DMC and it looked gorgeous, but then when I went to start the flowers, it looks like it's a brown flower. I'm not going to have any brown flowers. I love that it has purple flowers, but there's no way I'm putting brown flowers. So this is the size of the entire thing. This is also 36 count vintage country mocha. I didn't give you fabrics on the other two. Okay, I'll backtrack. With Sulky. So I matched up, again, as closely as I could because I don't have all the Sulkies. Maybe I should get the rest of them. I like to use them, don't I? I matched them up as closely as I could. They were really close matches, so it's just something between the Anchor and DMC.
Yeah. Mommy, can you say
I'm
bye?
guessing, no, just a minute. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I haven't figured it out with Mom yet, but had to change a couple of things to either make it look more like the picture or just like so they're yellow and not brown because who wants brown flowers? The top part has a beautiful alphabet, part of its back stitch, so I think I will grab the DMC color, that it's going to be blue, that matches that blue to do the back stitch lines. He's shaking it again, sorry. And then do the actual X's with Sulky because I'm loving the Sulky. Doing all this in hand. I pretty much don't use hoops anymore, or frames or Q-snaps or anything. I used Q-snaps before, just for the record. I know this isn't a frame, like a hoop, but it's just because I didn't know how to finish it. So I threw it in a hoop after I painted it purple. And then the bottom part of the sampler has a verse. I don't remember the reference at all. I was going to throw something out there, but I'm terrible with references, so that's probably not even close to right. Daniel, stop touching the chair.
Mommy, I just want to get out of here.
Okay, well, just a minute. So I've got the hive in there. There's some flowers here and some flowers here. A couple borders. There's going to be a little fill-in down here on these diamonds. I haven't decided what color. On the picture, it's like they're not even stitched in there. Like, it just, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe light purple. I'm thinking maybe the light blue, but then I've got light blue here and here, so maybe some pink. I'm not sure. I'll just add it later. I'll add it later. So use a little imagination. There's a beautiful alphabet here. Oh, and then between the words for the verse and the alphabet up top, there is a really nice border of honeycomb. And this is actually very appropriate to the year. I'm doing it as a sampler. Stitch along with my mother. And my dad just got bees. So, who knew the timing would be So perfect. I'm not putting this all back together right now. Oh, but if anyone wants to know how I'm keeping the sulky, these tins, you know those boxes from Fat Quarter Shop that are like this big? Yeah, they're cute, but they're $10 for one thing, and they're way too tall. So if you get these, also from Fat Quarter Shop, these are like $4 something, and they work great. So that's what I have my sulkies in for this project. I have 2 of them. But they work great. Okay, I have one more, and there's my conversion over to sulkies. It's a color chart, so I know there's like 3 X's, but one of them is a blue X, and one of them is a pink X, and one of them is a brownish X, and you just have to be really careful when you go to pull a color for that project. My other completed project, he found a way to get out. Well, look at that. One for Sarah R. I'm not sure how often we're exchanging it. It's going to be 3 times or 2 times or 1 time through the year. There'll be something in her advent box probably, though. I don't know. But next time we exchange, I'm ready. So, Sarah, skip a couple minutes if you want to hear the mania plans. Otherwise, I can just tell you on Marco Polo, and I know you have lots of things to do. So here we go. Here's for Sarah R. 3, 2, 1. This is a chart by Joy-Filled Stitcher. It is in her Etsy shop. I bought it probably a year ago, and then I just stitched it in airports. So it was great airport stitching. I was going to do it with the silky thread. This is 14 count Ada. It didn't look so good with the silky thread. It was almost the same color. A little more blue, and this is a little more purple, I think. I wrote it down. I write it down, then I don't remember because it's been weeks. So I ended up stitching with this with DMC, even though I planned for it to be a silky project because the 14 count just, nope. I needed it to be a quick, easy project for the airplane, and it was great. The only thing I didn't do was the Jeremiah 2911 here, so I recentered it before I started stitching so that it would fit beautifully. And if I want to backstitch the reference over here, I can. I think it looks amazing just like this. So this is a printed fabric. Isn't that lovely? Ooh, look, now I can read it. Oh, and okay. I carried in that one little place. I got the printed fabric from Mercresticon on Etsy before her prices went like through the roof. Yeah, don't know if I'll ever order from there again, but that's why you can't read what it is, and I can't really tell you the color or anything because I ordered this probably 2 years ago, got the chart a year ago, and then suddenly made the connection I should put those together. So I have a finish in mind for that. Fabric for this was 25 count vintage country mocha. Pretty sure. Yeah. This was supposed to be stitched on 25 count, and since I'd never worked with wool, I actually used the correct fabric. Go me. I don't have much 25 count, so thank you, Mom. That was for Christmas for my mom. This was on 32 count vintage blue whisper linen, and this is from Be Stitch Me. It was an unnamed Friday Night Fight Night fabric. I'm almost positive it was unnamed. It's a blue. It's a really nice blue. This is also the 25 count vintage country mocha. And I don't know what I'm currently stitching on. I have one whip before I get to Mania because that's whips. And it is the Erica Michael Stitch All the Thingberry. I already put this away, of course. I just ordered this from Cross Stitching Supplies. She had a sale last weekend, as in not like 3 days ago, but the weekend before. So I picked a color palette that was very soft and just sweet and all blended together. It's a color experiment because here are my threads. I'm telling you, now that I have that organizer, I just use so many more, and I variegated, and I have more threads like this coming to me from 1884 because she had some great deals on just random threads, and that's what I use, is just random threads. And then I put them together. I'm changing the colors all the time anyway. Might as well just get what's a good deal. So there we go. I have this variegated, and highly variegated like this are the most stressful for me to use because they just, you have to constantly be watching the colors, right? So Stitch and Things are stitched in this color. This is a water lily from a long time ago. It says it was $5.40, so a long time ago. Parafit? Here's the color. There you go, you can kind of see that. And I'm just trying not to let the blend of cotton and silk bother me. It's bothering me less and less. First, I was like, no, if it's silk, it should all be stitched in silk, and cotton should all be done in cotton. And then Janet Jabber, a couple weeks ago, was like, you can blend them. And I was like, yeah, I know. And then I hit the sunflower field, and it's like, okay, it's not that bad. Because Bendy Stitchy had been like, well, yeah, you can use all the different fibers, but some are going to be more raised than others, and you know, I don't want that. Well, I don't notice the difference between the cotton and the silk, so it's okay. It's okay. I am okay. So I used that variegated one, and then I used this variegated. This is a Ships Manor, this blue-purple one. It is lavender parasol. It is a color fast cotton. I'm using this gray. It says Seaside Night Sky. I don't know what that means. I got this from Allison Rosen D-Stash when she had a whole bunch of threads, you know, and you saw Mary Ashcraft and different people getting these threads from the D-Stash, and I was like, yeah, those are beautiful, but I don't really use variegated floss, and because they're so expensive. No, I can't pay that. And then they went half price, and I was like, wow, that's a great deal. So I ordered, that's how I got all my Victorian motto and some random stuff like Seaside. I don't know what Seaside means, but this is where she puts the brand of the floss. It'll say like VMS from Victorian Motto Sampler, or CC for Classic Colorworks, or C&C for Coloring Cotton, that kind of thing. So I don't know what Seaside is, but it's called Night Sky, and it's this really nice bluey gray. Kind of silvery, which is why I used it for the needle. Actually, I didn't realize that was a needle until I stitched it, and I looked back and I was like, oh, that's a needle. I'm so glad I used the silvery color. And so then I also stitched these little bits on the side with the silver. I know these are lined up, and if you know the pattern, they're not supposed to be. FFO, and yeah, they're stitched over one, is the correct distance from S, and then I based width off of the T, and so I don't know what happened. They're not supposed to be lined up, but it's going to be a berry. It's going to be okay. And then I used a purple. This is my only bluey purple, which of course is what I needed for this one. I have like 60 different purples in a quest for chart that I haven't started yet because, yeah, anyway. Long story. And this is a Coloring Cotton Bluebell. It's the purpley one. So it was used for the purple heart, of course, because I pretty much always make heart purple when I have a purple heart, and that's the only purple that got put in this one. And then I also grabbed a pinky color lavender rose, so it has kind of a purple hue to it, from Weeks Dye Works. And it was this little swirl and that one. Then I finished it and started on the little pillow, so let's kind of even that out. I also used that pink here for the scissors. They remind me of a, is it Tooltron pair of scissors that I have? That's kind of the shape and has the pink handle. Blades, of course, will be the silvery gray color. And then I'm going to kind of balance that out with a silver heart here. Note to self, don't make it purple. Things, of course, was done in the highly variegated. We've got the pink, the variegated blue-purple parasol line, and then here's the purple. And stitch will be the variegated again. All the goes over here, and it's going to be the purple this one, purple variegated. And then there's like little fill-ins by the scissors, which will be these two colors. Yes, I think that's how it goes, and that's what memory's telling me. And then this little piece right here, well, it'll get used for something. I'm not sure what, but I have a bin of little bits and pieces, and so they'll get used for like little cards and stuff and things. I always have ideas for all the fabric. So I don't know what this is being stitched on. It's a linen. It's somewhere between like a 30, it's like a 34 count. I don't know what it is. I'm guessing like a witch hilt off-white cream antique white type of color. So, and then I've got my templates from Helen D that I printed off, and why they're on orange. I think I was recycling old recital programs. I don't remember for sure, but that seems like what I was doing. So those are cardstock, and now I need to get them transferred to the clear plastic because I see how that would be very helpful. But I have them for right now. Okay, so Mania plans. Real quick before I forget, this did not turn out quite right. See that? Very narrow. Yeah, I know I could sell it as a second. It also has a very pointy corner, which bothers me. It's not that bad. It's really not that bad. I'll take the piece of fuzz off, or you can have that for free. It's fully functional. I even remembered to put the tag on. I did sell a second one time. It's the only bag I've ever made without a tag. But it was Beauty and the Beast, and I really felt like I should still put it in the shop because it's such a great fabric. This one, what are you doing for Mania? Maynia. Leave it in the comments below. This is a kitted up pouch. I don't know if I have any more of these in the shop. I just found this recently, and I was like, oh yeah. I had set it aside for a giveaway, so it's like, might as well do a video, and next video, I mean this video, it's a giveaway. So what are you doing for Mania? I am gonna do a Whip Mania, I think. Kind of a Stitchsania Whip Mania blend. Is that a thing? You know, like Lindy Stitches does Stitchsania. So she'll have like this goal for a project, but I'm gonna do it with whips, no new starts. So this is gonna be one of them, and I'll probably work on them. I'm deciding on all the details. I really need this week. I want to finish what I've started, right? I just put it somewhere else. This one is not in the shop. I've only ever made one of these. It was like a little thank you for your purchase piece of fabric, and this is mine. So there is not another one of this in the shop, but this project I want to finish because it's started and it's not going to take me a week. I'm fine working on something for like 4 days, and then it starts to become a chore. So I think I'll probably work on these bigger projects, which, like I said, the big projects, it's okay to start them, especially if it's for a sale or something, but after a few days, it's hard to get back to them because I want to see them done in a few days. They're not done in a few days. This is way more than a few days. So I'm thinking maybe like Monday through Friday I'll work on the big piece, and then the weekend something else, because, well, I'd like to finish this and my rotation says, yeah, finish it. I also need to do a birthday present for my grandma. Her birthday's next Friday, maybe? Something like that. It's May 5th. I just don't know what day of the week that is. I need to do Sarah G's May Stitch. I don't even remember what the theme is for that. That's through International Cross Stitch Pen Pal Facebook group. I think that's the name. It's close. If it's not, if you need to know, let me know. I can look you up. And then, yeah, the third thing was that. So those are the 3 things that I need me to do this week. And then I can start this rotation next week. Hopefully. Although the first is a Sunday, so I could start this the 2nd. Okay, that gives me 1 entire week. That should work. So work on this Monday through Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. It's only 2 days on the weekend. Yeah, I'll decide. I don't know if I can work on it all 5 days, or after 4 days I'm going to be like, okay, now it's the weekend. We'll see. We'll see. So that's going to be probably my first piece for the week. I also want to work on this. Now that we've got so much more light, it should be a lot easier to work on because this fabric is very dark. But it looks amazing, and I don't think I get, 3 comments a video? So I don't think I've ever had so many people, 2 of the 3, mention a specific project, let alone the same project. Yeah, I think it's going to look amazing too. But it was hard to see when it was evening, which is like my stitchy time. And I'm at 43 minutes. Okay, hurry up and talk. And, you know, seeing the fabric, I'm stitching over one with this beautiful silk from Be Stitch Me, and it just, like, it was hard to see. So now that we've got a lot more light, I'm thinking this will be great. So this is going to be 1 week, maybe week 2 or 3. I don't know. We're just making this up as we go. So there's 2 of them. Another project I want to do, oh, I did work on her. She was probably in the notes. Fairy Roses. I am doing the stitch along with, I know this, she has a shop in New England. Stitch New England. Yeah, Pam. And it's the 4th Thursday of the month, which is usually the last Thursday. And I worked on her for 4 hours, I think, last month. And then I worked on her